As you can see, I decided to extend my stay a little bit, so I'm in a hotel room in Barcelona before I go and have another little wander around. We're doing our breath work this morning, so we'll start off standing. Just bear with me while I get this laptop working properly. The lighting isn't brilliant here either, so hopefully you can see okay. And we're just letting Jenny into the Zoom session. Morning, Jenny. Okay, start up standing, and let's start off with a little bit of mobilization. So shaking. You're not going to be able to see my feet, but I've got my feet about shoulder width apart. I've got soft knees, and I'm just tapping the heels into the ground. The idea of shaking is just to create that vibration through the body. And really let the shoulders go, relax. Let the arms relax. Upper back relax. Jaw relax. And then shake out the arms a little bit more. Shake the wrists. Well, breath is just easy, so just breathe however is natural for you, just with the lips lightly together. If it's comfortable, the tongue resting on the roof of the mouth, and in and out through the nose. And then hands shaken forwards and backwards. Get the wrist shaking. And then out to the sides a little bit. And then back down to the sides. And just slow it down. Just come to standing. Open up the shoulders a little bit. Open up the chest a little bit. Palms facing forwards. Just let the breath be nice and slow. Feel perhaps that tingling sensation through the fingers, through the arms. Cross the palms, rest them just below the belly button. And bring your attention to this place here as you breathe in and out. So as you breathe in, feel the belly softening. And just let the breath settle. So even with that little bit of shaking and moving around, you'll be breathing more because you need more air. So just really let the breath be easy, soft, steady. Bring one hand now and place it on the chest, on the top of the chest, on the sternum here. You may feel your heart beating, hopefully. And notice what happens as you breathe in here. And the idea is not to breathe in a particular way, just let the body breathe naturally. It's just about awareness, bringing awareness to where you feel the breath, where you notice the breath. And get that sensation now, even if there's not a big movement, of that very subtle ripple or that spine wave. So the belly, ribs, and then that chest just opens up just ever so subtly as you breathe in. So first of all, feel that softness in the belly, ribs, and then just feel that little bit of openness in the chest as you breathe in. So even though we're just breathing a light volume of air, still get this sensation of this really subtle spine wave. So you're breathing belly, ribs, chest, and then the head almost balances on top of the spine as well at the top. Ribs soften as you breathe out. And now what we're going to do is slightly increase the volume, but slow the breath. So we're just going to make it a slightly bigger movement. So soften in the belly, in the ribs, open the chest. Go at your own comfortable pace in this. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Now the idea is to increase the volume, but as you increase the volume, slow the pace. And you may even want to slow the exhale a little bit more. So because we're increasing the volume, we don't want to start over breathing. So a little bit bigger, belly, ribs, chest. Start to lift the sternum up, open up the ribs a little bit. And then soften. And what you could also do is you could use that candle's breath on the out breath. So you could breathe in through the nose. And this helps with that extended exhale. And then the breath just naturally flows in. Breath in. Candle's breath out. Just in your own time, 2 more of those fuller breaths. So breath in. Feel that spine wave. Slow. Controlled. And then when you've done those 2 full breaths, go back to just natural, light breathing, but still with that intention, still with that in your mind of that spine wave. So just natural breathing. Still have that idea of the spine wave, that ripple, that movement. Think of the reason why we have all of those individual vertebrae in the spine. So they can extend, so you can open up, so you can lengthen the spine, so that you can soften the spine. And now we're going the opposite direction. So rather than taking fuller, bigger breaths, see if you can reduce the volume of air that you're breathing, but still get that sensation of belly, softening in the belly. We're still breathing deep. So it's how little air do you actually need to breathe. If your breath starts to get a little bit jumpy, a little bit chaotic, then just breathe naturally. So the idea is not to create any stress out of this. It should feel nicely calming and relaxing. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. It's almost like just breathing a thin thread of air deep into the body. Still get that sensation, even if there's very little movement of that spine wave, extending as you breathe in, ribs softening, still keeping strong but softening as you breathe out. Relax the shoulders, relax the face muscles. Good. And then just shake out a little bit, shake your legs, move your legs around a little bit. Just let the breath settle. So a couple of pointers again, just to really highlight. Remember the biochemistry. What we're looking at is we're making sure that we have the right balance of oxygen that we're breathing in. Obviously, we're taking oxygen from the air, so we're breathing oxygen. But we don't want to be gasping for air and breathing so much air that we breathe out too much carbon dioxide, because we need the right balance of oxygen and CO2, carbon dioxide in the blood, to deliver the oxygen from the blood into every single cell into the body, into all of your tissues, into your muscles, into your organs, into your brain, to actually keep us alive. So we quite often think, oh, I need to get more oxygen. So you start taking in big gulps of air, but if you over-breathe for what you're doing, you're actually taking oxygen in, but you're not delivering it as efficiently to the muscles. So it's like having a glass full of water, because it's your blood has got enough oxygen in the blood, but you're just pouring more water into the top of that. So you can't get any more oxygen into the blood, but in fact you're blowing off too much CO2. So it's like gassing out, it's like getting out of breath. So never ever, you never want to really struggle with the breath or get out of breath. So when we're doing a fuller breath, when we create that fuller breath and we're doing a slightly bigger movement, if you slow the breath down, then you're still not over breathing. And particularly if you extend that exhale, you're not over breathing. But if we were doing, you'd soon start to feel really dizzy because we'd be getting out of breath and we'd be blowing off too much CO2. So that's really important to understand that. And it's really important to get to that point where you can breathe as light as possible, as we did, but still get that idea that you're breathing deep, that you're breathing light, that you're breathing slow, and that you're breathing deep, but you're breathing a thin thread of air, small volume of air. So with that in mind, let's go through a couple of our Qigong flows, combining the breath with that flowing movement. So we'll start off with the physical movement first. So I'm just moving everything out my way here. So again, feet about shoulder width apart, a little bit of bend in the knees. Remember that we're doing an arm movement, but it's not just an arm movement. The body, the whole body is engaged in this. So really be aware of your grounding, your contact with the floor. Let's just do the physical movement first. So arms float up, elbows are soft, shoulders are relaxed, and then arms float down. And up, and down, and up, just go with the movement, just work on the movement first, just get that movement into your muscle memory. You may find you shift your weight back slightly onto the heels there, and then you may find that your weight shifts slightly forward. So you don't have to do that, but just see if that happens, if you notice that. Really relax the shoulders, relax the elbows. A couple more just with a physical movement. And then just take a rest there for a moment. What you might notice with that movement is that as you are raising your arms, the rib cage is extending, so your spine is extending. So you're actually creating that wave movement through the spine with the arm movement. So I'm getting that ripple. So if you imagine the back of the rib cage, how the ribs are connected to the spine, it's a bit like a bucket handle. So as you are raising the arms up, your spine is extending, you're opening up the spine. And as you're bringing the arms down, the rib cage is softening. So if we combine this movement with the breath, it's a perfect way of getting that idea of that spine wave. So let's continue that now, but bringing the breath with it. So we're just letting the breath naturally come in through the nose. And then out through the nose. In and out. Breath in. Breath out. And go at your own comfortable pace. breathing just the right volume of air that you need, not breathing too much. And not feeling any breath hunger, so we shouldn't be breathing too little either. Fluid movement, smooth, fluid, quiet, soft, all of those words to have an awareness of with the breath and the movement. Each time you breathe in, you get that spine wave. You can slow the movement so you take a slightly fuller breath. And once you really get into the flow, see if you can visualize the breath actually creating the movement. So as you breathe in, the movement is following the breath. And for Jenny and Yvonne and Zoom who came to Costa Brava last week, only a couple of days back, you know the difference when we were just stood doing this in front of that sunrise. So that's where visualization works. So take yourself back or visualize that space. Something calming, relaxing, awe-inspiring. Two more. And then take a rest. Move around a little bit, shake your legs out. Don't be afraid if you start to feel a little bit tight in the lower back or in the legs. You don't have to just root yourself there, and do feel free to move around a little bit and then come back into that movement, because we don't want to create any stress or strain in the wrong places when we're doing that practice. But you will notice that you are really strengthening the lower body, really strengthening the legs as well in that standing position. Let's just do one more of the 5 element movements, and these are the flows that I did last week when the sea was so rough. We did it silently so you couldn't hear me, which was great, and I got a lot of good feedback from that. So we will do some more silent practices, but this is what we're going to be working on in our next challenge, is these 5 elements and these 5 flow movements. We'll do the first one that we practiced just to finish off. So it's Buddha holds up the earth, so your palms are facing up. Physical movement, bring your palms facing the chest. So I have a little bit of space there in front of my chest. I'm not close to it, I'm not reaching out in front. And then this is the bit I like, is you really spiral and rotate to hold up the earth. Now, in this position, watch that we're not just hiking the shoulders up and we're pushing everything up with the shoulders. You can keep the shoulders down, really feel that stretch through the spine, through the back of the body. A little bit of roundness, and spread the fingers. Really pay attention to this space here in the fingers. Spread the fingers, hold up the earth, and then bring back down. Follow the same route back down. So go again, just work on the physical movement. Lift the earth above you. And then lower gently back down. And again, you'll notice you're getting that spine wave, you're extending the spine, and then softening the rib cage. Extending, looking up, and softening. As you're working through the physical movement, notice any areas of maybe tightness or strain. And then let's just go with the breath, so breathing in, breathing out. At your own pace, easy, smooth breath in, easy, smooth breath out. Just natural breathing. And then next one, just to finish, pulling down the sky, crossing the hands, bringing the focus back down to that belly, softening the belly, just letting the breath be easy, slow. Bring awareness to this spot as you breathe in, the belly softens. Let the breath settle. And give your hands a little bit of a rub. Give yourself a gentle brush down. Get yourself ready for the day. Down the back of the legs, inside of the legs, belly. Have a little pandiculate if you need one, in whatever way you feel you need. And we will finish there. Thank you very much for your time and attention, for joining me as always. I will be back in London on Thursday. So for the Zoomers, we'll have our Q&A at 7:45, and then we'll have the live classes at 8 on Facebook for everyone as well. Thanks for your time and attention. I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.